Good evening, my fellow travelers on Spaceship Earth. It is I, and I am Guy, coming to you live from Applewood Station, where it is breaking news. Biden advances. 18 degrees, 16 degrees Celsius. I don't know why I am required to see the news, but I'm required to see the news. So there's that. However, 16 degrees is cool enough, but there's no reason to exhaust power or utilize power. So I will stop utilizing power and utilize the outdoors, the great outdoors, where everything is lovely and wonderful. All right. I am trying to figure out what the hell is going wrong with the legs on the 15. I'm still working on the A15. A15 over here. We will switch to here for A15 view. I can see why all the flaps are not aligned. That's fine. They should be non-aligned. That's pretty nominal. Yeah. Don't ever do that again. Go back up. We'll put all the flaps up. And that way we don't have to worry about them being out of alignment. There we go. However, I'm also noticing I'm not getting a whole lot of... I guess I am. I'm getting a lot. Okay, good. Like, am I getting a lot out of this? All right. The thing that gets me is the rear landing wheels. Now, these legs were taken wholesale straight from the F-22, which the Saber. I'm over here. Huh. Doing well. Thy Royal Joshi. How are you doing this evening, Your Majesty? Better than my cat. Right? No, I get that. Hey, Brent. Happy Tuesday. I finished this guy up today, or at least his primary construction, but I'm still fighting with pieces of it. However, Brent, I think this looks pretty close to that critter right there. I'm pretty happy with it. Feeling like that's where we are. And we're good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. This is one of those, I completely and totally set myself up for it and then had to go deal with it. So, and Brent, check this out. The forward cockpit goes forward like so, and the Rio has a cockpit door that opens like that. Love that. And then I just put the standard cockpit in there. I think what I'm probably also going to do is do a landing door here that comes down. Oh, hey, look, HB56Y is talking about my gameplay. I'm doing an awesome game here, man. This is a live. Look at me doing this speed run. Speed run of Blender. Blender speed run. Oh, I'm not going to let that one go for a while. The bots at least give me entertainment. And because I use the same wings from the Saber, I don't have to do anything to change out the control surfaces. They still move just like they were before. So those control surfaces all still maneuver and move. And like I said, I stole the Saber's rear landing. Right? Wouldn't a speed run, a Blender speed run? Yeah, look at us. Gosh. I feel like, but with the pilot here in this front piece, look how far forward of the nose gear it is. It's going to be like driving a bus every time you drive this thing. Like on the actual ground. Totally going to be like driving a bus. It's going to be awesome. I'm in here, you goofy cat. My cat has become lost somewhere in the house. And he's trying to tell me that he is lost. In his own amenable cat way. Yeah, I hear you. Now what I need is controls on this. So that this happens manually. Or automatically, I guess I should say. Close all these doors. And close the field hatches. I know, right? He's in there. I don't know what his problem is either. All right, the biggest problem that I'm seeming to have right now, though, is under the undercarriage. And I don't know why it's not lining up like it's supposed to. But it's not. Should be. Should be running just fine. But it's not. And I'm not sure why. I mean, once the legs are down, it seems to be maneuvering just fine. And like they seem to be level on the ground. They're just not level up under the undercarriage. I'm not sure why. Oh well, we'll figure it out. I only have one called for scene with the undercarriage down, or with the legs down, I guess. So, oh hey, I wonder if music works now. Music wasn't working earlier today. Hey, music's working today. Check it. Music. Time for music. My problem is that. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Didn't realize you had music going. I just usually run music because otherwise you got to listen to me. Yeah, I can turn off the music. So I use a restreamer. Appreciate you, man. Okay, Brent, you're the one who's been with me on this ride. Think this is a good smoke room for this guy? Think I was pretty true to it for most part. That was a weird noise. All right. All right. There's a wheel sticking out. Now we have to fix a couple of problems. Oh, hey, yeah. I only heard a little bit of poor man's poison. Not a whole lot. Doesn't mean I don't think it's good, though. Aha. With the gear up, we can tell that we didn't put this door in there. We didn't put the landing gear in the right spot. That's useful. Feed the machine. That's pretty cool. There we go. Okay, there we go. I think we're solid there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make a landing door on this side. See you later, man. It was good meeting you. Hope to see you again. Please join me at any time. Usually broadcast at 9 o'clock at night, Mountain Time. But I also broadcast sometimes at 9 in the morning, Mountain Time. If you're around. Peace out, man. That's fair. Join me if you're here. You don't have to. No requirement. This is the whole point behind this is to kind of help other people get work done. If I'm working, other people tend to work too. So join me if you need. I sort of feel like I need twin tails. But realistically, they've never really had a lot of vertical surfaces. Hasn't been necessarily one of its top 10s for my ships. Which it doesn't really need that much on because everything's vectored thrust. So I'm just trying to decide if I really want a door out here or not. I mean, it isn't that far to the ground. Right? I mean, you could lift yourself up onto this thing. That's why I'm kind of like, well, I don't know if I want landing stairs. I don't know if I need landing stairs. I don't think I need landing stairs. I think you just hook a ladder up onto it, like any normal aerospace craft. A buddy of mine came by today and said, "So why is the cockpit tip forward like that?" And I said, specifically so it doesn't look like the Sabre. I don't know. I think I'm good with it. I think it may be where it needs to be. I feel like it might need the RT flaps in the back here, but that's it. Or maybe it doesn't. You know? Maybe that's just what it is. It is what it is. It's what it's. A much cleaner fighter also than I have with the Sabre. Because this is going to be an A15R. And the other one's going to have to be an A15 SAR. usually open the Rio cockpit without it. Guess there's no reason not to. All right, next thing we need the mount for the lock for the AWACS control dome. It should just sit right here. That's probably the hard part, or hard point through the center core, right in the fusion reactor anyway. Right, so I think that probably what we'll do is we'll build that connector for the fusion core. A little more aggression in that angle on those winglets. All right. Yeah, no time like the present. Add mesh cylinder. Uh-oh. What happens when you do that? You get a weird cylinder. There we go. All right, so this does not need to be that high off the hull of the vessel. Just making that mount there. So the flat mount. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, first things first, I'm going to grab the body of the vessel and go in here. We're going to add a Boolean. But before we've used difference, now I'm going to use union. I'm going to onion that. Whee! We're all one thing, right? Hit apply. Then you grab the object and bring it up, and we can shrink it down like so. And now what we can do with this object is we can use it to create a hole that goes into the actual hull of the vessel. And remind me, I'm going to have to kill these internal walls. Because they, of course, whenever it does a Boolean, it keeps the main wall. Or when it does a mirror, it keeps the walls to the center of the object, which normally isn't that big of a deal, but I come from an era where you don't want that. All right, Boolean. Now we'll take difference and we'll boot it. Okay. With that done, we'll scale it down. Now the lock is below the hull. See how it's below the hull there? And what we'll do next is simply add back in what we had before. I'm going to go for the front though, because this time I want this to be below, like that, so that it's lower than. That's going to be important. And then we're going to take you. And again, we're going to hit Boolean. We're going to onion it. Onion. Apply. Then we can take the object we've onioned out of here. And now we have that, which inside you can see looks like that. Outside looks like that. That's effectively the hard point mount for the AWACS disc, which needs to be put on top. The door opens, you slide the entire assembly in, lock it into place, latch it through the 4 pins inside there, and there you go. It has to withstand acceleration and deceleration, and has to extend past the power curves. So this spacecraft is specifically designed to carry one. But unlike what I drew here, because I drew this as like an AWACS bar, it's not going to be an AWACS bar. It's going to be 2 gravity tails on sweep. So it'll look like helicopter blades. Long stick gravity blades. But that's okay. We have created the thing. Zoom, 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 zoom. Okay. I would say that I am totally mature, but I'm not. I'm not even remotely mature. All right. I figure she's pretty much ready to go. Or at least ready to go to the next stage, which is painting. And I'm not ready to start that tonight, I don't think. Hey, Golden Capybara, how are you doing? How you doing this evening? Look at that hip joint. One of the things is they are not aligned at the hip joint. which is weird. Oh, that was the problem child right there. I'm doing well. I am doing well. We are the final phases of messing with this model, and I don't know. I mean, I'm feeling still pretty good about it, I guess. But it is definitely starting to make me go, well, okay. We got to go through and do some fixes here. One of the fixes is internally. You go inside the model, because it's when you clone a model, the model is of a T15, or rather A15. In this case, it's search and rescue for my comic. I draw a comic, and I had a call for this version of this spacecraft, which is different than the fighter that I had done before. And I'd done a fighter, and I was like, oh, the fighter is great. But then I looked at it, and I looked at this picture, and I was like, yeah, but I really like kind of the broad, flat nose of this guy. So then I decided to take that fighter and broaden out and flatten out his nose, and then took and reconstructed a lot of it, and I just finished working on it. It's got unlike my other fighter, this one is designed for search and rescue. So it has a Rio compartment in the back for radar officer. And the cockpit comes forward. This is the cockpit place here. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I draw a comic, and generally speaking, I draw. But the spaceships and the sets and stuff like that are all done in 3D. However, I don't like to use other people's 3D work, so I design it myself. I build it myself. So all the models that you see in my comic are mine. And that way, I don't have to feel guilty about, I borrowed Bob Smith's spaceships or whatever. So my newest comic calls for these fighters, and so I went on ahead and I decided to pull this fighter together. The cockpits I built is a different model, because that way you don't have to have a cockpit inside these things if you're just showing them from the outside. But if you are showing them from the inside, then you can stick the cockpits inside there, and then they all work real nice and everything like that. You don't have to worry about it. So anyway, that's where we are. And I just finished putting the hard point on the back, because with my comic, this guy back here has a sweep. In this case, probably not a radar sweep. It's probably a gravity dome on the back, which reads the gravitational mode or gravitation around the area. So I had to make sure I put that hard point in, which I just did. That's this hard point right here on the after section of the aircraft or spacecraft. And I added the Rio position, which isn't actually something that was asked for here, because that would be in this section right here. But I liked it anyway. So there we go. So I'm going to switch real quick. And switch. And switch. And switch. I'm doing a lot of switching all of a sudden. And I'll show you. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll show you the once we're done mapping, because right now it's not mapped. This is just straight up. When it's mapped, I will show you what that looks like. Because it has a very different look. Do. Yeah, that's what it looks like when it's finally mapped. This is the MPV, which is what the middle. The MPV sits back here. He's actually in. There's an MPV in this flight, but this is what it looks like when it's fully mapped. And just like the other one, this one's a four-legged walker, because we actually had this discussion this morning on this morning stream, which was, why do they have legs? And I'm like, well, they have legs because, shut up. I'm like, I don't know. Because I like mecha. And it's my comic and I can do whatever I want. So I put mecha in there. So they have legs. So that's the way this goes. So there. The new color codes. This is my hero's spaceship. This is the Kitty Wake. And I'm still kind of working out her color codes. But I think we're doing blue and green as her color codes with this orange trim. I have to figure out whether I like that enough or not. I haven't decided. I'm still kind of in that indecisive point here where I'm kind of like, maybe I like it, maybe I don't. I'm not sure. I like it. I like the two colors. I'm just not sure that they're really together. But with the drawings, it looks like this. So with the actual characters drawn in, this is what it looks like. So I hand draw the characters, and then I render the 3D models behind them. Rather, I go in the other direction. I render the 3D models, then I draw the characters on top. And this is that in color. So, there you go. And that's how this works. There you go. Yay. But this way I keep my spacecraft, my vehicles, things like that. They all still look correct at all times. And I don't have to worry about freaking out about them not looking correct. Oh, I drew it wrong. Which can be stressful, very stressful. So, So that's where we are. I have bigger ships. This is a destroyer. So those fins. Okay. Thank you. See you later, Golden Capybara. I might get out of here pretty soon too. It may be about time for me to bail as well. Kind of running out of steam. And now I appreciate it. Thank you very much. See ya. Have a good evening. Or a good day, depending on where you are in the world. All right. Probably should return her to her original position, so I'll fold down the cockpits, click. Peace to you too. Bye-bye. All right, fold that up, fold this back. It's always better to fold the legs up first because I can line them up, even though obviously in real life that would be weird because they don't fit well. And I can fold this up and forward. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I'm probably gonna have to lower this down because I'm seeing the legs come through that top piece of the hull, which means we'll either have to pull the legs down, which probably should pull just the entire assembly down. Last minute adjustments in these guys. Yeah. Looking from directly below, and kind of see that I've got, kind of want the points to come out the side. Right. Like that and like that. There. I feel like they're not. All right. Either I'm going to have to bring in this piece so that it's okay, or we're going to have to bring down those. Those legs aren't even aligned. Whatever. Well, no, they're aligned. No, they're not aligned. They're not even remotely aligned. Even then, though, I'm seeing the undercarriage isn't aligned in here. This undercarriage isn't even on the same spot. Much less rolled correctly. There we go. I feel like one of the things we're going to have to do is push the legs back and down at the hips. It's going to be that hip pod that's going to have to move us down. But I'm tired, and I'm feeling very much like this is a tomorrow problem. For the now, I'm pretty happy with most of this. With the exception of the legs. But again, it's like a tomorrow problem to me. Because I'm cranky and tired. I'm tired and cranky. Not that cranky, really. I'm still tired. So. Okay. I'm starting to lose focus. Time for me to decide to bow out while I still can before I go to sleep. So I appreciate you guys all being with me tonight. I think it's a wonderful thing to have you guys all here. Golden Capybara, thank you for joining me. I had you for a while. It was wonderful. And of course, Your Majesty, Royal Josh, thine Royal Joshi. Appreciated having you here. I did have Brent here for a little while, and I had one bot that loved my gameplay. I'm just saying, can't complain. My gameplay is the best, and so that's where the speedrun blender came in. So either way, I don't know. I have way too much fun with the bots. I will talk to you all tomorrow, probably. Odds are good, because I'm going to try to go to bed like a normal human being and go to sleep. Feeling very tired, so this probably will be a successful concept. Either way, I hope you all have a wonderful evening and or day, depending on where you are in the world. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye.